Can you hold the bag, please?
Oh, she was my mother.
All right, folks, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, wherever you're following us from based on your location. Welcome here to the Monrovia City Court, and we're coming live from the Capitol to bring you live updates on the first court appearance for lawmakers charged in the Capitol Building Arson case. So just yesterday, we were at the Monrovia Central Prison, and these lawmakers were bailed out of the Monrovia Central Prison after making 2 nights at the Monrovia Central Prison. So former Speaker Councillor J. Funatikofa and 4 other lawmakers who are charged with the Capitol Building Arson case will this morning be appearing here at the courts for a preliminary examinations. And this morning I have with me veteran reporter Fabien Koya, who's going to walk us through, give us some of the details as it relates to the case. Good morning, Fabien.
Good morning, Tony, and good morning to our many listeners. As my colleague rightly said, we are here to cover the case involving former Speaker Funatikofa and 4 others that were allegedly linked to the burning of the Capitol building in December 2024. Well, then last week Friday they were brought in for questioning at the police station, and later on remained at the police headquarters where they were detained for the first night at the police headquarters, and on Saturday morning they were brought to court.
Sure.
But being that this court is a lower court and charges levied against former Speaker and others is above the jurisdiction, they could not secure a valid criminal appearance bond, and so they were sent to jail on Saturday.
Sure.
And so they spent Saturday night and Sunday, and then on Monday they were released. They were released to the lawyers after providing or securing a valid criminal appearance bond in the tune of $440,000 US. And there are 2 other co-files, probably they are related to the former Speaker, were the sureties, and so this means that they are on temporary bail. They are being billed temporarily. Yes, yeah.
Does that also mean that everyone involved with this case were all built out, including the lawmakers?
Yeah, sure, they were all built out. And so today we expect them to be coming very shortly, because I just talked to the lawyer and he confided and convinced me that they are on their way. And so they will be at the Monrovia City Court this morning to hear the preliminary hearing. And the hearing is intended to compel the state to prove probable cause on all the charges that they were charged for. But remember, after this at the Monrovia City Court, it will not end yet, because as I said, it's criminal charges levied against them. And you have like arson, aggravated assault, because it was amended.
Sure.
So aggravated assault is included criminal attempt to commit murder, criminal conspiracy, criminal facilitation, among others.
I think endangering lives of others also.
So from the Monrovia City Court, the next time we're going to hear this case will be at Criminal Court A, where I'm told an indictment has been drawn. What I'm told, yeah.
We also, did you see his legal counsels here? That their legal counsels this morning?
Yes, I saw one of his lead lawyers, Councilor Jonathan Massacre, and I spoke to him that they are on their way and they will be here for the preliminary examination here at the Monrovia City Court. So
when their charges were read to them on Saturday, they were also told that they have the opportunity to engage this case as a group or individually. How is it being done? Yes,
once you people are being grouped together for any offense, it's your right to have separate trial. That is to pray for severance. And I'm told that I got my information that Priscilla Cooper will have a separate trial.
Okay.
Probably she don't want to be here with the others. So it's a right either to be jointly tried, or if they feel that they are not satisfied with something, and one or two persons can call for separate trial, and that will be granted.
Definitely.
That's the right, yeah.
And so in cases like this, we all know presenting the evidences will also contribute to how much time the case might take. But how does it work in cases like this, in terms of how long do we expect to see outcomes or to see the case being adjourned?
Okay, so probably it's going to be speedy trial. I cannot speak for the court because people will turn this as a high-profile case, and they want
I think it is.
It is, and they want speedy trial, and the criminal courts are in session for the 42 days and will be winding down. So probably, if they will come back, that means during the next court opening. But as I said, all depends. If they want speedy trial, once they go to the grand jury and have a true bill and have probable cause, probably they might start in the term of the court or the next term of court.
Okay. And also, we will not have the opportunity to go in the courtrooms. But how much time do we have until the hearing starts? And what specific hearing is going to be held today in the court?
I mean, the charges that were levied against them there, probably the lawyers going to plead for them and think that the charges were in the right ones, or they are. So it's just preliminary, and it's not the actual case here or the beginning of the case. So in preliminary examinations, there are so many things that can play. Probably the lawyers might ask for time, or probably they might say the clients were charged wrongly, blah, blah, blah. But as I said earlier, this is a criminal matter, and it's not going to remain at the level of the Monrovia City Court, but rather will be transferred to the criminal court. And sometimes we talk about time, all depends. All depends on the court term. Probably it will exceed the normal 42 days as far as maybe 3 to 6 months, all depends.
Okay.
Once it's a speedy trial and the government have sufficient proof, if they bail up the prosecution team, they might go further, or they might be very, very speedy.
And I know some of these cases usually have terminologies attached to them as to who is going against who. Is this government of Liberia versus former Speaker Kofa and others, or what's the nomenclature attached?
Yes, Republic of Liberia,
Okay,
versus Kofa and
others.
Yeah, because the government is the one prosecuting them, and there are prosecutors in the case, and so it will be Republic of Liberia by and through versus Fanatic Kofa and others.
Okay. I mean, you're so versed in this, judicial matters, so it was good having you this morning. Like you said, you don't have time, you have to go secure your seat. I don't want to keep you. Unless there's anything lastly you want to mention.
No, we will. I will be back after the hearing.
Sure.
But as you can see here on the grounds, there are a few journalists that are around. And
some of the lawmakers involved are also arriving.
Yes, no, it's Calando.
Okay.
Councillor Calando.
Councillor George Calando.
Calando with his wife, Priscilla Cooper.
Okay. Do they have a case here, or are they here?
This is Priscilla Cooper, one of the lawmakers involved.
Sure.
So she's the one.
Yes, Priscilla Cooper is already
here. She's been escorted to the court by her husband, who built up for her.
Okay. Good morning, man. Welcome. That's Madam Priscilla Cooper. She probably might not want to have a word. Follow it. Yeah. All right, so she's making her way into the cafeteria this morning. I guess obviously she might just want to have a breakfast this morning before she can head for the preliminary examination itself. Well, folks, you heard it from our colleague Fabien Koya, who is a seasoned judicial reporter assigned here for ALBC. And but this morning, as you can see, we just showed you the arrival of a lawmaker, Priscilla Cooper, who is also involved in this case, who, according to what we've been told, will be taking on this case individually. She will not be with the rest of the group members or the other lawmakers who are involved with this case. But come to think of it, George Kailando also is a legal counsel, and he happened to be the one accompanying her this morning. We just showed you her arrival. But quickly, if we can run you through, you heard from our colleague Fabien Koya, who was giving us some of the details as it relates to this case this morning. According to her, this is not going to be the actual court hearing. This is just the first appearance of these lawmakers since they were bailed out of the Monrovia Central Prison yesterday. So in her word, it's just going to be a preliminary examination of the charges that have been labeled against them. It's obvious their legal counsel might have some reservations as it relates to the charges that have been labeled against these lawmakers. So that means they might want to be looking into the charges to see if some of the charges aren't worth what the government of Liberia is claiming. So some of the charges might be dropped, some of the charges might be maintained. So, I mean, we're still awaiting the arrival of these lawmakers, but you are seeing a few of them arriving one at a time. Madam Priscilla Cooper is already here. We were hoping we will see that's Honorable Martin Kula also arriving there. You will see top political figures here today. Key national figures will be here today, obviously. As this case has, the nature attached to this case is obviously a high-profile case. You can't rule that out. So, but let's run you through some of the happenings before we even got here in the first place. So on Saturday, these 5 lawmakers were invited by the Liberia National Police. According to the police, they have gotten through with their investigation, and before them, they had all of the evidence pointing to these 5 lawmakers as being the ones allegedly responsible for the Capitol Building fire incident on December 18. And so they were caught here at the criminal court. Their charges were read to them, and they were immediately taken to the Monrovia Central Prison, where they spent 2 nights, Saturday night and Sunday night. And of course, on Monday morning, we all were at the prison on Monday morning, bringing you the updates. First thing in the morning, we visited the Monrovia Central Prison, and also we saw a fleet or a convoy of lawmakers, majority of whom are members of the then minority bloc as is related to the impasse that was on the Capitol Hill. Speaking of Nima County Representative Musa Hassan Belete, we also saw Thomas Yaya Nimle. I mean, a whole list of lawmakers were at the Monrovia Central Prison. Obviously in sympathy of their colleagues. But we spoke to Nima County lawmaker Musa Hassan Belete, and he was the one who broke the news to us that the lawmakers were bailed out and that they were leaving the Monrovia Central Prison, and that this morning today they would have made their first appearance for a preliminary examination, which we're here to bring you live to bring live coverage for. So wherever you're following from, we'd like you to keep following, stick and stay with us. We want to keep whipping the camera around, keep showing you the actions as more of these key national figures appear. Lawyers, legal counsels are all arriving here on the grounds of the courts. So wherever you're watching from, we'd like you to keep following and keep watching. Basically, we'll be out here to bring you the updates. We'll obviously not have the opportunity or the chance to go to the courtrooms, but as it stands, few of the lawmakers, probably just one, we saw Madam Priscilla Cooper, who is already here. So keep following LNTV, keep watching, and once we can show you. Yeah. Sure. So while we're still here, we'd like you to keep following us, and also probably we can also give some recognition to those who are following us. Wherever you're following us from, you are also vital to this process. So we would love to probably just show some of the concerns that you are leaving under the video. I mean, your concerns are also important. Someone said they're watching us from Grand Judea County, from as far as the southeast. Thanks for following. Someone says they're watching us from Des Moines, Lower USA. Also, someone is also watching us from Nigeria. And so there are a lot of folks who are on the live broadcast. My colleague Fabian is still around, but we'll still get to her once we have any additional details about the broadcast this morning. So yes, while we're still here, you can follow the actions and keep watching the arrival of the lawmakers here this morning. My name is Anthony Williams. I'm here with my teammates, Aaron Talu, Fabian Koya. Aison Yiba is also on the standby in case of any eventuality. We'll also be bringing you live coverage from all right. Keep following, keep watching. Okay. All right. So my colleague Fabian Koya will now make her way in there to secure a seat for herself. She's the one from whom we expect more of the details. And so those are the legal counsels of the government of Liberia. And it's been flanked by security detail. And so now they are heading into the courtroom already. As you can see, yes.
The Solicitor General, along with the County Attorney, Solicitor General, Councillor Augustine Fire, along with the County Attorney, Richard Scott, have just entered the Monrovia City Court.
Sure.
And so that signifies that they will be part of government's team that will be hearing the preliminary examination for Councillor Hoover and others.
Okay.
So they are there in court, taking their seat there.
Does their arrival now mean any moment from nights ago?
We hope to see Kofa and others here.
Okay, definitely. Thank you, Fabian. We'll join you once you return. That's Fabian Kuya giving us update there. But I mean, that's it. All of the lawyers, those are representing the government. You saw the Solicitor General being flanked by security. So keep following us, guys. Keep watching the action here. We're basically here to show you all of the action and the happenings this morning. So wherever you're watching from, we'd like you to stay put and keep following LNTV. Yes. Sure. All right. So a lot of you are following. We'd like to thank you for watching. Keep following us. So yes, still can stay with us. Lots of you are following. Francis Stowe is also following us from Lokintown. Thanks for watching, Francis. We have Solomon Reeves, who is also following from the headquarters of the Harvest Liberia. Lariton Koya, provided if I got that right, is watching from Zweju. Prince Cooper also is following from Dupo Road. Lots of you are following. Solomon Tade, thanks for watching. Solomon Tade is watching from the US. The Moines. We also have Charles. That's Otis Myers. Otis Myers is also following. Preston Paul, Jamal Pierce, Jamie is also watching. Where you're watching from, thanks for watching. And my colleague Aison Yiba is also here on this broadcast. We'll be sharing ideas, bringing the discussion to you as it continues. For those of you who are watching us quickly, let me join my colleague Aison Yiba quickly, who is coming on set to also add his 2 cents to the analysis. So yes, we're going to stand right here. Yeah, we're going to stand right here, and then we can just run you through this broadcast. My colleague Aison Yiba is going to follow us. Let me zip this quickly. Aison, welcome. You and I, in fact, the entire team, we've been going through these proceedings since they started, especially on Saturday when the lawmakers got taken to the Monrovia Central Prison. You were here yesterday at the courts, and it was expected that they would have made their first appearance. But again, we also, it didn't turn out to be like that. They were bailed out strictly from the Monrovia Central Prison, and they went their different ways. But let's go through what really transpired yesterday, and then we can link it, or probably go back to Saturday, and then we can link it to yesterday and today, as they are expected to make their appearance for a preliminary examination.
So thank you very much, Anthony, and we love to say thanks to our followers. Well, yesterday was a scene of a bit of tension because coming from the angle of some of the political leaders, it was anticipated that, well, we would have saw a large gathering here yesterday because they made it clear and said, well, we are moving to the Temple of Justice in solidarity of the 5 lawmakers that were incarcerated at the Monrovia Central Prison. So, but then later on we saw folks marching, coming towards the Supreme Court. But before the departure of the lawmakers from the Central Prison to the Supreme Court, as was anticipated, the bill was actually fired.
Yes,
and then secure property bomb, a little of 400,000 bomb was fired, and that actually eased the tension, because once the guy heard that, well, they are fired a bomb, the property bomb, to have the 5 lawmakers released. So they thought it was that, well, we don't have to go to the court again because it will mean nothing.
Go ahead.
Yes. Go ahead. Yes, so folks. Yeah, before our camera, Ray. Yeah, before our camera. I know, but yesterday. Well, this is obvious, and he's one of the jovial guys you found.
Did he say we jammed his phone?
Yes. Yeah, so
how?
I don't know.
We got jammed on that?
Jammed on that to jam. If you are saying we jam your frequency.
Yeah, fine. That would be something. How can we jam your phone?
Yeah, but obviously this is just in passing.
He's interesting, yeah?
He's a bit comical, yeah.
Oh, okay.
While doing his job, he's a bit comical, yeah. Yeah, but back to the issue. So that actually eased the tension that we would have saw folks in support of the lawmakers coming here. So yesterday we awaited them, but upon the fine or securing the bomb, they just thought it was to come from the Monrovia Central Prison and go straight to the headquarters of the opposition, CDC. Because mind you, prior to firing the bomb, we saw the former president of the Republic of Liberia, Honorable George Weah, and we also saw, but let's see who is this individual.
I guess this is
the
Honorable
former
Councillor
Speaker
J. Fonati Kofa.
Honorable, want to welcome
this morning. Sorry. Good morning, Honorable.
The evidence produced by the prosecution.
All right, that's Councillor J. Fonati Kofa arriving there.
Yes.
We want to see if we can pick a chance and have a word from him.
Let's see if we can do that.
Let's have a word from him.
We can do that.
Once he agrees to talk to us, we can just quickly, just a question. And but he's already here. He's making his way into the criminal court C. Already awaiting him.
Honorable Councillor, good morning.
Are you ready to speak,
well, it appears he doesn't want to talk to members of the press this morning, but
so
but we are hoping. Good morning.
So how do you feel?
I feel good. Yeah.
Are you confident of this?
So he says he feels Honorable Didi there. He says he feels confident. Councillor Kofa also doesn't want to say.
So this is Josiah Marvin Co.
Honorable Josiah Marvin Co. Welcome this morning.
Why is it important that you're here?
Came to witness the process, and that is why I'm here.
There are others who have said this is more political than legal. You were invited at the headquarters of the LMP. You were let go off. What do you have to say concerning this process, sir?
Again, I want to reiterate, the police did not allow me to go. God allowed me to go, and because of my character, and I've always done the right thing. And if you are accused, it's proper. You make yourself available for you to be exonerated. And that is just the process.
Your colleague Frank Safoko termed the entire investigation at the police headquarters as being a very calm and good investigation. How do you term that?
The police, when the police invites you to the headquarters, they are not your friends. So I can't term it as being kind. The procedures were just followed. And if the procedure is followed and you have not committed any crime, it is incumbent on the police to have you released. So it is God that released me.
There are folks who believe that people like you should have been indicted rather than letting you go.
There are folks also who believe that people should not go to heaven. But because God knows that the people are serving diligently and He allowed them to go to heaven.
Are you convicted that your colleagues are innocent of these crimes?
You still call on people to come out, or you want the process to play out?
That's Honorable J. Marvin Cole there speaking to us. He has given his own words, his own perspective of this situation. You heard it from him. He was speaking to us and giving us his own view.
So we can say.
Let's just climb up.
We can say for a fact that we had the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, and also the District 3 lawmaker from Grand Jide, Honorable Jacob DB. So he's already here. And then one person who was actually let go of the 7 lawmakers was the lawmaker from District
That's J. Marvin Cole.
Yeah, J. Marvin Cole. And I see Priscilla Cooper.
Yes, we already saw Priscilla. So
she's been led by her legal counsel.
That's Priscilla Cooper there making her way also. So gradually we are seeing the arrival of almost all of the lawmakers, except we've not seen Abu Bana Kamara yet.
Have you seen Dixon Sibo?
Because I haven't seen Dixon Sibo. Okay. So we left with 2 now. We have Councillor J. Fonati Kofa in there. We have Priscilla Cooper in there. We have Jacob DB in there. That's 4 or that's 3 already. So we're looking out for Abu Bana Kamara.
And I can also say that the Solicitor General of the Republic of Liberia, Councillor Augustine Faya, is already in. Because I was sitting in for Fabin when you guys were actually going through.
Yeah, you're securing a spot for her. It's tough in there, trust me. Actually, this morning. So we look forward to seeing Dixon Sibo and Abu Bana Kamara, who, according to the news we gathered while at the Monrovia Central Prison, has some medical issues, but that we were informed they were handled, obviously. But again, this is it. I mean, the action is here this morning. You've seen the lawmakers. You heard Marvin Cole, his process with the police, as it was said by his colleague. He did not describe it as being a friendly encounter, but though Frank Safoko made it clear that his encounter with the police was professional and friendly. But you know, Marvin Cole is the tough kind of guy, so you expect that, obviously.
So obviously you will expect that, but there is another side to this investigation. But let's watch and see. I see you Rep 55.
Yeah, obviously this vehicle could be bringing another lawmaker.
Be Dixon Sibo.
Sure.
But let's see.
Yeah, let's see who comes out.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, well, we're still looking out. Arisen. Lots of actions taking place now. The action taking place.
Okay.
So more arrivals taking place. We're looking forward to see the arrival of Dixon Sibo and Abu Bana Kamara. So once the both of them can arrive, then it means the preliminary examination has kicked off already. But I'm not sure they can kick off the preliminary examination without them, obviously, in my mind.
Honorable Cole, we see you going out. What exactly happened? Were you thrown out? Were you thrown out from the court?
For what?
So I want to know why you.
No. I was never thrown out. So I left at my own volition, and I decided that I'm going to run after other things to see how we can mitigate the legal process. So we will continue to talk to people. We'll continue to encourage our people to make themselves available to the due process, to the rule of law, because we have always sat on the principle of the rule of law.
What are your convictions about these charges against your colleagues?
I'm not a lawyer, but I strongly believe the burden of proof is on the one who accuses you. So the state has a responsibility to prove beyond all reasonable doubt. And when that is done, if they can prove their accusation against our colleagues, that's the law. If they cannot prove it, then our colleagues should be acquitted and let them be as free as I am.
Do you trust the process?
Which process?
The judicial system.
The judicial process.
Well, I trust the judicial process. I can tell you that for fact. But I am hoping, and I continue to encourage them, that the influence of the executive will not be exerted on them. I know that there have been instances where the executive has exerted efforts and the judiciary decided to stand on and say, no, the law is the law and the rules of law must be kept. So I trust the process and I trust the judiciary.
There are people who say the folks like Tomo Edrich, who were already incarcerated prior to the former councillor going there, there wasn't any attention given to them.
No, as far as I know, that's one of the reasons why you see somebody like me going out this morning. My understanding is the lawyers are working tirelessly to ensure that they have the bond, and that bond will be filed, and then they will be released. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks for talking to us. That's Honorable J. Marvin Cole there answering to a few of our questions again. I just know you were very interested with the previous question about if he was being thrown out.
Yes.
That was quite hilarious in my mind, I guess. But he made it clear that he's going to run after a few things. It was just, it didn't take a minute when he went in there, so it was kind of interesting to see him going out quickly. But again, you heard him. He said he do trust the judicial system or the process, but he also doesn't believe that the executive will have anything to do with this, because he has seen instances where the executive have come in to make it known that the law is the law and people should observe the judicial process.
Yeah, so like I posed a question to him, there are folks who believe that the issue of Thomas Edrich,
and
the guy Eric Suse, who were already in prison prior to the lawmakers going at the Monrovia Central Prison, and we did not hear that level of anxiety, the support, the call for their immediate release. But once it comes to the lawmakers, where you saw the public went wild and calling for the immediate release.
You just heard him that he's going to work to make sure they can have a bond. So the assumed information that was being told that the bond covered everyone that was involved, that is obvious, can obviously now be dismissed because they weren't freed yesterday. So that means he's now going to secure a new bond to have them out, obviously.
So as part of the investigation, we also listened to the Director of Police Inspector IG, General yesterday on ERBC with Vafli Kamara, and one issue that was key during his appearance on the radio was the issue of people threatening hierarchies
of the police,
and he was very clear,
obviously,
and said, well, we as officers of the Liberia National Police, we took oath to defend and protect the nation. So if you are threatening an officer of the law, well, the police is ready and will be in the position to defend themselves whenever there are attacks coming from the public to the officers that were actually mentioned on Facebook. You saw people posting
that was very alarming.
The contact numbers,
names of family members
where their kids are attending schools and what have you. And I saw that as a very belittling to the format of our country. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's in my mind. In fact, even from the end of the police, that it's obviously a security threat. I mean, you are putting out key details of these people, thereby making them vulnerable and endangering their lives. So obviously, I mean, these actions like this could even lead to another investigation. Actions like this could even lead to the police inviting you for questioning. What are your intent for making the basic information of these people public? So obviously, that obviously is a complete security threat to the lives of the officers. There were even folks making, putting out, in fact, making announcements or putting out information for top officials of government to be gone after. Do you understand? For they and the family to be chased after.
Yes, obviously.
Which was obviously wrong, and we even saw some of those people coming back and trying to retract or retrieve the statements that they made, claiming they didn't make them. That's the thing about social media now.
So I see the former SG, Councillor Serena Sifos.
Yeah, he's always here. You obviously see the lawyers here always.
I don't know.
He probably might have another case. Yeah, he probably might have another case. But again, obviously, like we were saying, these things are very dangerous for our country's security. And yes, I mean, come to think of it, while it's true that this case is a high-profile case, you would expect these kind of actions from politicians because of the nature of this case. Those involved are politicians, hardcore politicians. It's fine. Some of these people, come to think of it, Councillor J. Fonati Kofa was once the House Speaker of the Liberia House of Representatives. This political nature attached, though when you ask the government of Liberia, they will come clean and tell you they are not targeting politicians. They are trying to set a deterrent for what transpired on December 18 off Capitol Hill. The Capitol Building is the symbol of Liberia's democracy, built by our forefathers to represent our country's legislature. So what transpired obviously painted a bad picture for our country on the international scene. And come to think of it, Liberia had just joined, in fact, was just elected on the UN Security Council for a non-permanent seat. Speaking of security, you can have a country that always projects chaotic scenes on the international, world, and expect to be taken serious in terms of security. You can't be the one representing what is considered one of the countries on the security panel of the world, or representing Africa now, and have actions like this being exhibited in your country. It doesn't show a good signal for Liberia. Police IG also made mention of that, and stressed specifically on Liberia's current status on the UN Security Council. So going through these legal proceedings and having the security or the police to exert their authority and power, to instill peace and stability, contributes to what Liberia represents on the UN Security Council as a member state. Come to think of it, we are a founding member of the United Nations. And once the UN represents peace, we also have to show similar representation to the world.
Obviously, and up to current, I'm yet to see any post